one and all, welcome to Seen Through Glass. Welcome to the quite stunning Porsche Experience Centre in Atlanta. Now this is also actually home to Porsche USA. It's that kind of American headquarters. And throughout this year, Porsche have been amazing. Whilst they didn't actually supply my 911 Carrera T, as a few of you thought they might have, they've supplied a 992, 911 whilst I was in Europe. They supplied a Turbo S for me to use for a couple of weeks. And just in general, they've just been a very nice support to have throughout the year. And today, it's the chance for us all to sort of kick back and have some fun. So I'm going to be heading out there onto that beautiful test track experience driver performance area. I'm also going to be having a tour of the museum, the workshop, hanging out with the guys, just celebrating all things Porsche USA. So the very first thing I'm doing here is taking a GT3 out on track. Or well, would you, I mean, is it a track or an experience or?
Handling course.
Handling course.
So not a track because it's not a racetrack at all.
Sure.
Driver development facility.
Okay.
Making people better drivers for the everyday road. It just so happens to be in Porsches, which makes it that much better.
That much more fun.
Exactly. Exactly.
And for me, a GT3, which look, don't get me wrong, I love my car. It's not a GT3. So.
No. So we're gonna do some launch control.
Okay, nice.
So very easy to do.
Yeah.
You have to have two options in the car to do launch control. You have to have the PDK transmission. You have to have the Sport Chrono package. Now the GT3 comes with that package, so we're good to go in that sense.
Okay.
Got to be in PDK Sport, or for all the other models that aren't GT, it's Sport Plus.
Okay. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
So, but PDK Sport's on. Left foot on the brake as hard as you can. And we're just waiting for him this next part. You'll then take your right foot, hit the gas as hard as you can, but don't come off the brake until I tell you to.
Okay.
And when you do come off the brake, just keep your foot in the gas no matter what happens.
Let's do it.
And I'll tell you when to brake at the end.
Fair enough.
Here we go. Ready? And gas. And off the brake. Stay in the gas. Perfect. You're good. You're good. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. And brake. Launch control.
Oh, we had like 100 meters of brake still, right? That's ridiculous. Whoa.
0 to 60 being about 3.2 seconds.
Was fun.
Oh yeah. And the nice thing is you can do this over, and the car's not ever going to say no unless you're out of gas. Good. God, that never gets old. Keep going, keep going. Brake. Hard as you can. Harder.
I'm glad I didn't have eggs this morning. My God.
I mean, that doesn't get old.
That doesn't get old. You know what? I would do that on like between every set of lights. I know it's highly illegal, but I mean, it's
you just can't get above that speed limit.
Yeah, could you set a limiter? Would that work? I don't know if that would work.
It wouldn't. You could set, I guess, like a warning.
Yeah.
But if you just look down, like, you know, if the speed limit's 45, you look down. Oh, 45, you gotta come off. Officer, I didn't speed. I just got to that speed really, really fast.
Whenever you come to any track day experience, I highly recommend actually getting out of the driver's seat and letting the professionals show you how it's done, because no matter how good you think you are, trust me, these guys do this for a living. So yes, Tyler's very kindly offered to give me a little demonstration lap on the handling course. So, you know, here we go. today wasn't already awesome enough, the guys at Porsche have given me a little surprise. Because yes, it's a Taycan. Taycan. That's Calvin, he's just off camera. There he is. He's about to walk me through this car, because I haven't really seen one at all. Obviously, it's now sort of officially been launched, and there are a number of videos online about it already, but I haven't had the chance to get up close and learn about the thing. So yes, that's what we're going to be doing. My first walk around, my first look at the Taycan.
It has a 93 kilowatt lithium-ion battery pack at the bottom. In fact, it also, because it's at the bottom, it has the lowest center of gravity of any of our cars. Actually, in fact, the Taycan has a lot of top marks all around in general. So the Turbo S does 0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds, which is the quickest in the lineup right now. Has the lowest center of gravity, and it's the slipperiest. So pretty good marks all around from our perspective. It's all-wheel drive. There is a motor up front and a motor in the back, and we'll get into that in a minute. But the motor up front is unique because whereas in other EVs, you have a motor and a gear train going to a differential on an axle, our motor is around the axle. Okay. So it's super compact. Yeah. It's super compact, and the planetary gear sets used to get the power to the wheels is pretty ingenious. And it's not really talked about by the media, but I think that's one of the kind of the secret back pocket things that this car has that no one talks about, but hopefully they'll talk about more about it.
Okay, yeah, we'll make a big deal about it. Yeah.
The reason why people aren't talking about it is because in the back there's a 2-speed gearbox. And again, it's the only EV on the market right now that has a transmission. And so people are like, well, aren't EVs, isn't it better because they're efficient and only single speed? And true, you can optimize it that way, but we're trying to go for a car that has dynamic performance in as many conditions as possible.
It needs to remain a Porsche.
Yeah, so it needs to have the 2.6 0 to 60, but not compromise on VMAX, and still deliver good range at VMAX, which this car can do. This car is 750 horsepower for launch control, or 616 under normal conditions.
Okay. And the standard turbo is
they're both 616 on the normal level. So when you're not in launch control, just using the pedal like a normal person, 616 max. The regular turbo is 670. And that's because the front motor inverter, so the controller for the front motor is different.
I'm just going to come out and say it. I think this is a very good looking car. Ever since this sort of initial concept, I was like, oh, they've done a good job there. They did keep a lot of sort of Porsche elements to make it look sporty, but also I just think look good. So I've been learning from Calvin all the different details, all the sort of information about this car. We're not obviously driving it today. It is a static car, or a static review. Not a review. I don't even know what I'm talking about, but anyway, the car's not moving. We're just getting a chance to get up close and personal with it, kind of notice a lot of the details which I just didn't really know about. For example, how huge those brakes are. I mean, that caliper is the size of my house. So yeah, the whole thing is just full of little sort of minute details that you wouldn't really know until you got up close. The thing that I'm really interested to show you though actually is the interior, because you've probably all seen quite a few photos of this car, maybe even videos now of it on the road, but here we are. Oh. Inside the Taycan. Look at that. Oh my God, it's coming to life. It is coming to life. Now, I've been learning that Porsche have been working very hard to keep a lot of their recognizable elements in this car, because let's face it, EVs, electric vehicles, are here. We just have to accept it. We have to embrace it. I'm actually a big fan of the idea of EVs in the city. My time with the Renault Twizy at the end of last year in London was, I just think, amazing, and I love that. But how do you incorporate sport or sportiness with electric cars? And that's what Porsche have tried to do. We've got sort of, parts from 992, parts from old school sort of 911s. We've got sort of sport chrono-esque feel. This is sort of copied over from the Panamera and also a little bit of the 918. You've got a ton of different sort of visual options here, so that you can scroll through power meter, which tells you, where you're getting your power. Obviously an all-wheel drive vehicle. You can come down through to getting the sat-nav map in the center. I also quite like this reduce, which is how the car started up. If you're really, in a sort of sporty mode, you literally just get a speedo, no rev counter, obviously. This car electric does actually have 2 gears, which is very unusual pedal for an electric vehicle, but still, you don't actually need the rev counter. You've got a very interesting thing here, which is all to do with the regen, the sort of braking regen. One of the biggest complaints I think about people who haven't driven EVs before is that feeling when you lift off the accelerator pedal, the car really starts to sort of, it feels like it's aggressively braking, and that's the regen process. It's a very unnatural feeling. Porsche kind of wanted to dial that out so that when driving sporty, you can come off the accelerator pedal and you control when the vehicle slows down by using the brake. So all these kind of elements to keep it a Porsche. It's a very nice place to be, and I say inherently sporty with that sort of narrow windscreen, and it is nice. I mean, it is nice. I wasn't expecting anything less, if I'm honest. It is, a Porsche, and it's also a very expensive Porsche. That's the one negative that I'm going to say, is that the car is a lot of money, but I suppose that's what you get with a car that has got this much technology. There you go. There are the lights now kind of coming into action. But yeah, I'm excited by the idea, I'm excited by what it represents, and as I say, when you start to realise just how much is going on, let me know your thoughts. Are people a fan of this? Are people leaning towards the competition? I'd be very intrigued to hear. Quite ridiculously, I've come upstairs to the sort of lobby and my car is inside the building. So I don't even know how this got here, but there it is, looking a little bit dirty. I'm a little bit embarrassed. I feel like I should have cleaned it up a bit. People keep coming over and gawking at it, and I'm like, I'm sorry that it's so filthy. But anyway, insane to see it here. Inside a building a lot of you may remember if you're Avengers fans. Unfortunately, I'm embarrassed to admit I am not an Avengers fan, so I don't really know what happens in this building, but apparently it was blown up in a movie, so they rebuilt it really quickly for today's visit. But yes, there's my car, currently next to this. We've got a 911 RSR, which is going to be racing at an upcoming Petit Le Mans, which is a big race event happening here in Atlanta. But you may some of you may recognise the livery, but you may identify with the livery. It's a Coca-Cola livery. And they haven't just done this because Coca-Cola is also based here in Atlanta. It's actually a sort of heritage-inspired livery, something that Porsche are doing, quite a lot of, or have done quite a lot of in recent years. Lots of you may know Tony from Gravelwood Car Sales wrapped his GT3 RS in the pink pig livery, and that was inspired by an RSR that ran at Le Mans a couple of years ago. So this actually harks back to an old 935 privateer entry. It wasn't an official factory car, but it was a sponsorship deal or a livery that was done actually at a race that was a Pepsi race, but a local bottling plant which actually invented the Coca-Cola bottle sponsored one of the actual 935 entries, put this Coca-Cola livery on it, and it ended up being a 7-year deal and became a very iconic looking car. And so Porsche are deciding to celebrate that, and I have to say I think it looks absolutely incredible. I love anything sort of heritage motorsport, but obviously when a manufacturer looks back at their past and tries to sort of give it a nod or recreate it, and then I think this particular car just looks so mean and so good, and it suits these heritage liveries so well. So I'm now really inspired by this, but I think it looks ace, and it looks even better, as I say, parked next to the STG 911T. Okay, am I doing this right? What's up? There's probably not a formula, but this doesn't feel like the right formula.
You almost fit.
That was a good look. There we go. There we go. This is nothing like I was expecting. Firstly, this is the hardest seat I've ever sat on. I mean, honestly, it feels like I'm sitting on the floor. It's also super low. My feet, I don't know if you can tell, are kind of almost at, I'm going to call them my boobies. So it's mad. And then steering wheel right up with my face. What an insane place to sit and to race in this thing. You kind of forget that it's got the absolutely amazing and iconic livery on the outside, because in here it's just so intense. But yeah, I want to go racing now. After my experience out on the handling track, I think I probably shouldn't. But anyway, now I've got to try and get out of it. Oh, God. I honestly think getting out is going to be harder than getting in.
One leg out.
One leg out. This is definitely what they do at Le Mans.
Second leg out.
I'm pushing. I'm pushing.
You're gonna get stuck.
It's all that American fast food. Okay. that was a very, very dark parking garage, and this is very bright sunshine. But anyway, what an amazing morning. What an incredible morning. And yes, my love affair with Porsche has just grown another, I don't know what I'm saying, but I just love this brand. Don't get me wrong, I'm still a Ferrari guy. A lot of you guys get really upset when I start talking about how much I love Porsche. But yes, it's just amazing when you get to spend time around people who are passionate about what they're doing. And everyone I met today loved this brand and taught me a lot about it. And I just know now that I really, 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 really want a GT3. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to make that happen. But I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Super cool to check out the Taycan. Still not pronouncing that right. But give it a thumbs up if you have enjoyed it, and make sure to subscribe for plenty more videos to come.